Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. Okay, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a totally revolutionary, completely low-stress approach to teaching kids manners without the endless, draining nagging. What if I told you that one simple game, literally something your kids will beg to play, could teach them to say please, thank you, wait their turn, and even handle disappointment gracefully all before bedtime? No timeouts, no lectures, just play. As a parent, I've been in the trenches, I've tested this with my own kid and my friends' kids, and let me tell you, it's an absolute game changer. If you're a parent, you probably feel this deep in your bones. You are just tired. You're exhausted from constantly policing your kids' manners. Trust me, I get it. I am right there with you. We all want to raise polite, kind humans, but the day-to-day reality of prompting them 100 times a day, it's soul-crushing. We desperately need quick, low-stress solutions that actually fit into our chaotic lives to help reduce that parental burnout. We all know the drill. You remind them to say please. They let out this massive, heavy sigh or a grunt. You remind them again, slightly firmer. Finally, they say the magic word, but they do it like it's literally causing them physical pain. It just feels like a losing battle. And honestly, by lunchtime, your patience is entirely depleted. And this is exactly how we fall into the parental burnout trap. Traditional lectures and forced compliance simply aren't working. They aren't magically making our kids more inherently polite. They're really just making everyone miserable. When you're running on empty, the very last thing you want to do is launch into a 10-minute lecture about table manners. You need something fast, effective, and completely free of friction. So that brings us to a massive paradigm shift. On one hand, you have those exhausting lectures that just drain your energy. But on the flip side, playful gamification. Instead of draining you, turning things into a game actually creates energy. We're taking the focus completely off top-down enforcement and moving toward a system where the rules are just part of the fun. And the science absolutely backs this up. There's this fascinating developmental study out of the University of Michigan that found children under the age of 9 learn social rules dramatically better through play than through direct instruction. Their little developing brains literally aren't wired yet to absorb abstract social concepts through a boring lecture. But if you bake those exact same rules into a game, they don't just follow them, they thrive on them. And that leads to the ultimate victory. The exact moment your kids start enforcing the rules on each other during a game, like when one sibling tells the other, "Hey, you forgot to say please," you have won. You can officially retire as the manners police because they are now holding each other accountable. It is a truly beautiful thing to witness. All right, let's move right into the practical playbook. I'm going to walk you through 3 incredibly simple, low-stress games designed specifically for kids ages 5 to 9. These take practically zero prep, they use things you already have lying around the house, and most importantly, they shift your child's behavior from forced compliance to genuine intrinsic motivation. First up, Game 1, the Politeness Pass. I love this one because it's so fast-paced and brings immediate laughs to the table. Here's how to set it up. You sit in a circle with a bowl of about 10 tokens, coins, buttons, whatever you've got. The rule is super simple. If you want something in front of someone else, you have to ask in a full sentence. Could I please have the red button? If they do it right, they get the item and a token. If they forget or just say gimme, they pass their turn. Now, quick troubleshooting advice for you guys. If your child resists at first or gets upset about passing their turn, do not turn it into a lecture. Just keep your tone super light and breezy. Say, oops, forgot the magic words, maybe next time, and immediately move to the next person. Keep the boundary firm, but keep the drama at absolute zero. The feedback loop here is insanely fast. During one of my own tests, I actually watched a 6-year-old catch herself mid-sentence. She started with, give me the, wait, could I please have... That is the game working in real time. The child realizes the mistake and independently corrects it just to win the round. And that right there is the power of intrinsic motivation. In real life, manners pay off very slowly, but in this game, social behaviors are rewarded in 3 seconds flat. The child doesn't need your parental approval in that moment. They just need the token to win. Politeness simply becomes their winning strategy rather than some chore you're forcing on them. Moving right along to Game 2, the Wait Your Turn Challenge. This game targets what is arguably the single hardest manner skill to teach any child: patience. Here's the setup. Grab a 30-second timer on your phone. One person is the speaker, and everyone else holds a talking chip. When the speaker talks, you can only respond by raising your chip and waiting to be called on. If you interrupt or talk out of turn, you lose your chip for 1 round. I'm telling you, this is the absolute perfect dinner table solution. The very first night you try it, you will see interruptions cut in half. The real genius here is the fast feedback loop. Kids are incredibly smart. They quickly realize that being a good listener and waiting their turn actually earns them more talking time, not less. They figure out the system, and suddenly they're choosing to be patient because it benefits them directly. Next up is Game 3, the Feelings Relay. This one is my personal favorite because it tackles a very tricky emotional skill, having grace when things just don't go your way. The prep for this is basically zero, which is amazing for exhausted parents. Just grab 5 index cards and write one of these emotions on each: happy, disappointed, surprised, frustrated, and proud. That is your entire toolkit. Here's how you do it. You play this alongside any simple game you're already doing, like Go Fish, Snap, or even just rolling dice. The twist is, every single time someone loses a round, they draw one of these feelings cards. They have to physically act out that feeling, but they still have to respond to the loss politely. So imagine your kid draws the frustrated card. They might cross their arms, stomp their feet, put on a super angry face, and literally yell out, "I'm really frustrated I lost that round, but good job." It's absolutely hilarious to watch, but it serves a deeply important purpose. They get to act out the big feeling while successfully practicing the polite script. Now, this isn't just a funny parlor trick. According to research from the Harvard Center on the Developing Child, this specific type of play does 3 incredible things. It validates the child's very real emotions. They are allowed to be mad they lost. It provides a safe, practiced script for those hard moments. And most importantly, it builds crucial long-term emotional regulation. We aren't suppressing their feelings. We're equipping them with serious life skills. Which brings us to building true child agency. This is where the long-term magic really happens. To sum up why this entire gamification framework is so ridiculously effective, the child becomes the active agent of their own choices. You aren't forcing them. They are actively choosing to say please, choosing to wait, and choosing to be a good sport. They're getting that instant 3-second feedback their brains crave, and it allows for endless repetition without ever feeling like a boring, nagging lecture. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What happens in your home when politeness becomes the winning strategy instead of a miserable chore? It completely transforms the dynamic. It massively reduces your own burnout as a parent, and it empowers your kids with deep emotional regulation. Try setting up one of these games tonight and let me know exactly how it goes down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.